Coming up on 5 Minute News. Japan bans fans at Tokyo Olympics. 2 Haitian Americans detained in slaying of Haiti president. And governor asks Californians to voluntarily cut water waste. It's Friday, July 9. I'm Anthony Davis. Fans will be banned from Tokyo area stadiums and arenas when the Olympics begins in 2 weeks, the city's governor said yesterday after meeting with organizers of the pandemic-postponed games. That means the Olympics will be a largely TV-only event after the Japanese government put the capital under a COVID-19 state of emergency because of rising new infections and the highly contagious Delta variant. The declaration was made by Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, and the spectator ban was agreed to by Japanese Olympic organizers, the International Olympic Committee, the International Paralympic Committee, and the Metropolitan Government of Tokyo. It was a serious blow for Japanese taxpayers and local organizers of the Games, which had already been postponed from 2020 by coronavirus. Hundreds of millions of dollars in ticket revenue will be lost, and that must be made up by the government. Fans have also endured months of uncertainty about whether the Olympics will go ahead. Fans from abroad were banned months ago, and the new measures will mean no spectators in stadiums and arenas around Tokyo, both indoor and outdoor venues. The ban covers Tokyo and 3 surrounding prefectures, Kanagawa, Saitama and Chiba. A smattering of events in outlying areas like baseball in the northeastern prefecture of Fukushima will allow a limited number of fans. The state of emergency begins on July 12th and runs through August 22. The Olympics, which open on July 23rd and run through August 8, fall entirely under the emergency period. The opening ceremony at the new $1.4 billion national stadium will be without paying fans, although some dignitaries, sponsors, IOC officials and others will be allowed to attend. 2 men believed to be Haitian Americans, one of them purportedly a former bodyguard at the Canadian embassy in Port-au-Prince, have been arrested in connection with the assassination of Haiti's president, a senior Haitian official said on Thursday. Matthias Pierre, Haiti's Minister of Elections, said that James Solages was among 6 people arrested in the brazen killing of President Jovenel Moïse by gunmen at his home in the pre-dawn hours of Wednesday. 7 other suspected assailants were killed in a gunfight with police, according to Haiti's Director of National Police, Leon Charles. Pierre would not provide additional details about Solage's background, nor provide the name of the second Haitian American he said was arrested. The U.S. State Department said it was aware of reports that Haitian Americans were in custody, but could not confirm or comment. Solages described himself as a certified diplomatic agent, an advocate for children, and a budding politician on a website for a charity he established in 2019 in South Florida to assist residents. Witnesses said 2 suspects were discovered on Thursday hiding in bushes in Port-au-Prince by a crowd. Officers put them in the back of a pickup truck and drove away as the crowd ran after them to the nearby police station. California Governor Gavin Newsom on Thursday asked people and businesses in the nation's most populous state to voluntarily cut how much water they use by 15% as the western United States weathers a drought that is rapidly emptying reservoirs relied on for agriculture, drinking water, and fish habitat. Newsom's request is not an order, but it demonstrates the growing challenges of a drought that will only worsen throughout the summer and fall and is tied to recent heat waves. Temperatures in parts of the region are spiking this week, but are less intense than the record heat wave that may have caused hundreds of deaths in the Pacific Northwest and British Columbia a week ago. California's governor is asking for voluntary water conservation, which would include things like taking shorter showers, running dishwashers only when they are full, and reducing the frequency of watering lawns. Newsom also added 9 counties to an emergency drought proclamation that now covers 50 of the state's 58 counties. Large cities, including Los Angeles, San Diego and San Francisco, are not included under the emergency proclamation, but Newsom is still asking people who live in heavily populated areas to reduce their water consumption because they rely on rivers and reservoirs in drought-stricken areas for much of their supply. An historic drought tied to climate change is gripping the US West and comes just a few years after California declared its last dry spell over in 2016. The earlier drought in California depleted groundwater supplies and changed how people use water. Compared to before the previous drought, urban water usage in California is down an average of 16%. But scientists say this drought is already hotter and drier than the previous one, accelerating the impact on people and the environment. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen Podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.